What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 360 Sports Show. Today we got myself, Jacob, we got Jeremy, we got Fernando, and we got Peyton. Let's get right into it.
Go.
This is the Frenzy Show, so you know, what month is it? It's March, right, guys?
Well,
It's
yeah,
the absolute best month of the year, so let's get right into it. We got the Sweet 16 coming up in 2 days. So we're going to get it started right off, and I want to hear you guys' opinions on some of the biggest stars in college basketball. We're going to get started off with Houston versus Duke. What are you guys' opinions on the game?
I have Houston winning this game despite barely surviving against Texas A&M. I'll admit Duke played incredible against JMU. I just don't trust them to match that type of performance they did in that game because Houston has such a great defense and they have more high caliber players than Duke does, in my honest opinion.
I'm rolling with Duke on this one. Jared McCain put up, 30-something?
Yep.
Maybe 30 on the dot in their game against JMU. 8 3-pointers to his name. And yeah, Houston has a lot of great weapons. Jamal Shed was just recently named a Naismith Player of the Year finalist. That was earlier today, which is, of course, impressive. He's been great all year. But Houston got into a lot of foul trouble by being overly aggressive on the defensive end in their game the other night against Texas A&M. And I think that Duke can do a good job of exploiting that. Cal Filipowski down low is going to do a good job of getting people to jump, getting some fouls called against him. Same thing with McCain and the rest of the guards spread out around the perimeter. They're going to get Houston into some foul trouble, cause them to have bench a couple players earlier than they think they want to, and exploit them throughout the middle of that game until they have to bring those players back in and eventually cause a couple foul outs, just like Texas A&M did.
Yeah. If you were going to ask me at the beginning of this tournament, I was going to say Houston 10 times out of 10, but Duke is looking like one of the best teams in this tournament. Outside of UConn and Purdue, who just smoked their two opponents, Duke has been looking like the best team. So with that being said, I'm going to have to go with Duke. Jared McCain's been balling. Cal Filipowski, he's a big man. He's going to be able to, cause trouble for any defense. So I'm going to go with Duke this game.
Yeah, my opinion, I give the edge to Houston, honestly. I feel like they're the better team offensively and defensively. I think Duke relies way too much on the three ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared McCain set the Duke record for 8 threes in a game in a tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can count on Jared McCain, a freshman, to do that again against the
Yeah.
best team in the nation.
He shows out when it matters, though.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I think it's going to come down to star power. I trust Jamal Sheed more than I trust Jared McCain and Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah, and those two players will be the X factors in this game because whoever plays better in that game will win at the end of the day.
Also, coaching-wise, are we ready to trust Shea yet? I don't know.
Not yet. He hasn't made a resume yet. He hasn't built the resume yet.
Yeah.
But in due time.
Yeah, I mean, who do you guys think are the biggest X factors within this game? Other than Jared McCain and Jamal Sheed, if you want to go.
Probably just Filipowski. He's 7 foot. It's very important, especially in March Madness, to have a guy that's close to 7 foot. I mean, you see Purdue with Zach Edey, Creighton. I went to their game. That game was amazing. They have a bunch of tall people. Like having that 7 footer is massive in this tournament.
I don't know if there's another answer to go with. I'd say Filipowski. Honestly, he's going to be a difference maker down low.
Yeah.
See if he can cause some trouble, cause some chaos for Houston.
Yeah, I agree with you. It will be Filipowski, in my honest opinion. He has to match the physicality of Houston's defense.
Absolutely.
And if he does that, I think Duke will win this game as well.
There we go.
You get behind that. All right, next up, we got UConn and San Diego State. Who do you guys got? UConn's the best team in the nation right now. San Diego State, they're looking kind of hot. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm having UConn because the first round they won 91-52, and the second round they won 75-58. When you're a 1 seed, you're supposed to do that in the first 2 rounds, and you see Purdue do it. But the other 2 1 seeds, they've been winning, but not as by much. And I think UConn, and it might be a little biased because I do have them winning. Shocker to everybody, but UConn has been blowing the doors off teams, and I feel like it's going to stay like that.
Yeah, I got UConn winning this game. I mean, they're just too talented. I mean, they have demolished their opponents, like you said. They have a veteran coach in Dan Hurley, and they have players who came from that championship last year, like Tristan Newton, who had that championship mentality, and they can do everything. They can shoot, they can defend, they can. So I'm expecting a blowout in this game, to be honest.
A blowout. This is a rematch of last year's championship game. So this is 2 teams coming in with experience all throughout their roster. Guys who stayed for the sole purpose at San Diego State of winning a championship. Guys at UConn who have won 1 championship, looking to add a couple more onto their resume. I think this might be one of the best, if not the best game we're going to get between now and the national championship. Maybe a Final Four game, if there's a cool Duke-UNC matchup, could bring a little bit of chaos. But I think up until we get to that final stage, up until the championship game and into the Final Four, I think this just might be the best matchup we're going to get. This is two teams with experience, two teams who know what they're doing in these big stages, who got here before. I think the edge still does go to UConn. San Diego State's put up a good fight. They did have a couple question marks in their first round win over UAB. UConn obviously has breezed through their opponents so far, including a Northwestern team who many people thought could put up a good fight. But I think the edge still does go to UConn here. They've got, the championship. They both have championship, rosters, championship material throughout their lineups, but UConn's got the edge. They're riding hot right now.
Yeah.
I'm rolling UConn.
Yeah, I just want to get into the point you said about this being the most exciting matchup. I don't know if I'm ready to say that. I mean, we got a lot of good matchups.
Of course. Yeah, I don't think this.
Coming up, we got Purdue Gonzaga might be my personal favorite. I don't know about you guys. But we also got UNC
I can't stand
Bama,
watching Purdue play basketball.
Creighton, Tennessee. Creighton, Tennessee is a
Creighton,
great
Tennessee.
game.
If Creighton plays as good as they should play, it'll be a good matchup.
I think Dalton next, he should be the player of the year. I really do. I think he is.
Yeah, he does carry Tennessee that much.
I am not ready to give it to Zach Edey. I don't like him as a player. I think
he wasn't.
I mean,
set
he
up
trust me,
for
he's a great player, but at the same time, it's like
For me, with Zach Edey, he's just big. Other than that, he can't do anything.
Doesn't move very well.
He is a paint merchant.
Oh, yeah, but sometimes in March Madness, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Is that tall guy just to get rebounds, just put up layups. Like,
Yeah, he gets points. He gets buckets. He gets rebounds.
In fact, I completely agree with you. Gonzaga Purdue is for me the best game of the Sweet 16 because I think this will be the game where we find out how good Zach Edey is. Because Gonzaga has that size to counter Zach Edey, so it will be up to Purdue's guards to step up, and we'll find out how good Purdue is based on that.
I'm looking forward to the Iowa State-Illinois game. My roommate has Iowa State winning it all, and Illinois has just been balling. So this is going to be a very good game. And last time, Iowa State has a lot of impressive wins. I remember right before the tournament, they blew out Houston. I think they won by double digits, but I don't know by how much. And Illinois, they won the Big Ten championship, and they've just been balling this tournament. So I'm excited to see that matchup.
A note about Illinois and Iowa State. This matchup is also really intriguing because it's a matchup between the number one offense and the number one defense. So we're going to find out what's more important in this tournament, defense or offense.
Yep.
Is that?
All right, now next, you see him. These are two of the biggest stars in basketball, and women's college basketball, that is. So we're going to take a look at number 1 Iowa is playing number 5 Colorado this Thursday, and we all know Caitlin Clark wants a championship. That's her goal. But do we think Colorado could take her out?
No chance. Iowa's just too good in my honest opinion. Even though they did not look well last night against West Virginia. I mean, they were tied with 3 minutes left in that game, and I was kind of getting scared that we're going to lose that game.
Yep.
So even though I have my doubts about Iowa, I do think they will have the edge at the end of the night with this game. But the thing with Iowa is, after watching that game last night, I'm not even confident to say they're a Final Four team anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Caitlin Clark has to carry this team all the time, and she can't do it all the time. Her supporting cast has to step up at some point if they want to be teams like South Carolina. So based on the way they're playing right now, I just don't think Iowa will get to the Final Four.
Yeah, behind that.
I think Iowa will win this game. Caitlin Clark, she's been balling for the last 2-3 years. She every night she goes in, it's consistent 25 with 5 threes. It's just amazing what she's doing. I think, especially the 3-ball adds up in college hoops in general, and I think with Caitlin Clark's ability to shoot the 3-ball, I feel like that could help them get to a championship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to go all the way. I think they do take this game over Colorado, but their next matchup, I'm sorry for looking ahead to their next matchup, could potentially be against LSU.
Yeah.
That LSU team, Angel Reese, of course, doing what she does. Kim Mulkey runs a great system down there at LSU. That's a challenge for anybody to face. They're coming back. They want that championship that they were, stripped of last year. They want it. They want to win badly, and I think that this is, the opportunity. This is the run that they're going to make to get there. They're going to get into that Final Four. I don't think they're going to have problems once they get into that Final Four. I think they're going to breeze through Iowa. They're just a much better squad all around. So while Iowa, I do think will take down this game, will take down Colorado, I think they're going to get stopped in their tracks when they play a very angry LSU team right now.
I don't know about, I do think LSU has a great chance of winning that game, but I just feel like Iowa, going in that game against LSU, they will have that mentality. We want revenge against LSU. They beat us last year. They will have more motivation than them. So I could see Iowa channeling that mentality to win that game. But
if you get Caitlin Clark mad, you're going to win some games, and you're going to beat them. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the other side of the bracket, we got Duke versus UConn. Page buckets. We call her Page buckets for a reason. What do you guys think? Will we see a rematch of, not a rematch, but will we see Page buckets versus Caitlin Clark in the Final Four?
It will depend on Iowa if Iowa improves against Colorado or in the Elite Eight, because like Jeremy said, it will depend mostly if they beat LSU, because LSU is the defending champion. They're playing much better now, so it will depend mostly on that. And also, I gotta give Paige Beckers some credit here. I mean, she's a walking bucket, and like her comeback story is amazing after her torn ACL. If it wasn't for Clark, she would be gaining the same recognition as Clark is today, and I think she would be the best player in women's college basketball
Completely
today.
agree. I think if Paige didn't miss last season, I think she'd be right above Caitlin Clark.
She might be in the league already if she doesn't do
Yep.
that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, these are two great squads. Of course, Beckers, she had 32 in their win over Syracuse last time they played, or over Syracuse on Monday in their last game. And Reagan Richardson, who you see on the right there, put up 28 as Duke beat and upset Ohio State, who I'm not sure if you guys have watched Ohio State. They played here. Penn State played against them. They're a dang good squad. Lots of talent all throughout their roster. A great team, and they're very tough to beat, very tough to score on. And Duke and Reagan Richardson did that with what seemed like relative ease. There was upset watch. The game was close for a little while. Duke opened up a lead and kept that lead. And this is a scary Duke squad. I think Paige Beckers, Paige Buckets gets it done, but don't sleep on that Duke squad.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State.
You're sleeping on the Duke squad.
I mean, Ohio State did not go in good form to that tournament. I mean, they lost to Maryland in the Big Ten championship round.
Still a good.
In the second
Ohio
round
State
of the
team.
Big Ten championship tournament, and I mean, after that, they didn't look well in their first game. So like, I'm not surprised Duke won that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I understand that. But moving on, away from college basketball, we got exciting news. Baseball is
Baseball's
back.
back, baby.
It's
Yeah,
that season.
baby.
So let's just get right into it. I mean, we got a Yankees-Astros rematch to open the season. Thoughts? Any thoughts right away? I mean, the biggest one being
As an
missing the
unbiased
Rays.
Yankees fan, I'm scared. No, Garrett Cole is a question mark. There's also just been questions all throughout the starting five for the Yankees, facing an Astros team who always seems to have their stuff together. They always seem to make it work with whatever collection of guys they run out at the bottom of their lineup in their outfield, with the exception of Jordan whenever he's playing. Alex Bregman has been a sneaky beast for all of the past 7 years. Same thing with Jose Altuve. They just both keep producing on and on and on. This Astros team is dangerous. They've got the pitching for it. They got the pitching to take out any team in a 5-game set besides maybe the Mariners, who can compete with them, and I guess the Dodgers at full strength if everybody's pitching. So we won't see that till next year.
Yeah.
I think the Astros take this one 3-1. The Yankees are going to take a little bit to get back onto the track that I think they should be at, and it'll be a little bit once they get Garrett Cole back in mid to early June, hopefully.
Yeah, if there's no trash cans, Yankees sweep it. No, I'm just playing.
Yankees
I'm
sweep.
just kidding. But this like series right here has a storyline for it, like right away. Like Juan Soto's debut, Yankees,
Yeah.
like he could make his stamp in a Yankee uniform right off the bat. Another thing, I do think we'll lose 3 games, like you said. Carlos Rodon, if you're watching this, can you please like step it up? We're paying you a lot of money. I mean, I'll take the $162 million and just go out there and get shelled. No disrespect, but I'm sorry that's what happened last year. We have Nestor Cortez on the bump to start. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Or great game.
Yeah, if Cortez plays as well.
But the Astros, always beat the Yankees. It's
They
been
do,
like
yeah.
that since
No escaping
2017,
it.
Yeah.
during the
brutal.
trash can era.
It's destiny at
Yeah.
this
It's been
point.
brutal.
Yeah.
It's hurt.
I agree with the both of you. Like, the Astros should win this game and, like, the series. I mean, they had the pitching advantage on Thursday with Framber Valdez. Now that Garrett Cole is not pitching for the Yankees. Also, the Yankees are trying to find their chemistry right now with Juan Soto being in the lineup right
He'll
now.
step in just fine.
So that will take some time. And the Astros are bringing pretty much the same lineup as they did last year. So they still have that. And also, let's not forget, they're at home. The Astros have that home field advantage. So,
Trash can advantage.
yes,
Yeah.
the trash can advantage. So,
Yeah, they don't have
the
the short porch anymore.
so the Astros should definitely take the series.
Yeah, this game we have Rodon coming back from that horrible year last year, and then we have Stroman going to make his debut.
He's looked solid in
He's
spring
looked good.
training.
Mhm.
He's had good games, had bad games. So
But yeah, Garrett Cole being out for 1 to 2 months is pretty bad.
Also, let's not forget the Astros got better in relieving pitcher. They got
Yeah,
Josh
they
Hader.
did pick
So
up Josh Hader.
with Josh Hader, like, the Astros are much dangerous now.
All right, moving on. We got the Phillies and the Braves. Another classic rivalry. I don't know if any of you guys are Phillies fans here, but
I am.
surrounding
Just
us in this area is Phillies fans ever. So what are your opinions?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really think the Braves are going to win this game. For some reason, the
good
Braves.
unbiased take.
For some reason, listen to this. For some reason, the Braves own the Phillies in the regular season. Like, I don't know why, but that somehow that works. And they have Strider on the mound, so I expect the Phillies to struggle against him.
It's still Zach Wheeler though.
But also let's not forget Harper's just coming back from an injury, so it will take some time for him to get him back into the groove. So, and Wheeler, like, he's kind of looked a little bit like weird in the spring training.
Yeah.
Nate,
pick
after
up
signing
the
that contract extension. So I just feel like the Braves are more ready than the Phillies.
That's fair.
Yeah, what you said, the Braves are always great in the regular season. I forget, won like 110 games last year or something. Acuna MVP, Strider's going to be Cy Young favored. This game, like this rivalry in the Yankees-Astros rivalry, the schedules maker and the MLB are cooking right now,
doing
right
good.
off the
Yeah.
bat. A lot
Great
of broken
matchups.
hearts right off the bat. I do think the Braves, I could see this series being split, but I think the Braves are going to take game one just because, you know, they're very good in the regular season, which in the grand scheme of things don't mean anything because if you do bad in the playoffs, it's all that matters. But I'm ready. I'm excited for this series and the Yankees series.
Yeah. I mean, something I want to say is I'm very excited to see how Trey Turner starts off this season because last year he started off horribly, and it took him till August to finally get into the groove. So it will be interesting to see if he finally gets off to that hot start that the Phillies need him to get into.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, looking ahead, we got some great rivalries coming up. But
course.
as we get into the new season, I say we take a blast to the past.
All right,
So
let's do it.
all of us are going to take turns saying our favorite baseball moment of all time. First up, we got Jeremy.
All right, let's do it. So I know everybody thinks I'm going to do Yankees moment. I'm not going to do Yankees moment. I'm going to do the moment that got me into sports broadcasting. If we take a look right here at the clip, we're going to take a look at David Freese's home run to send the 2011 World Series to Game 7. This call, Joe Buck's call, we will see you tomorrow night, is the reason I got into sports broadcasting, the reason this is my major, the reason I'm here as a whole. Figured I'd pay some homage to it, and this sent it to Game 7 of a great 2011 World Series between two really, really good teams in the Rangers and the Cardinals. Great series, great moment. The reason I got into sports broadcasting, maybe not my favorite baseball moment of all time, but the one that I think deserves the most love of mine in a segment like this.
Yep.
So easy as that. David Freese, walk-off home run, 2011, Game 6.
I like the choice. Good choice.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that whole like outcome, that game, David Freese is very iconic. The
Oh, yeah.
double to send the extras and the home run to win it, very iconic.
I still
Yeah.
remember Joe Buck's famous line. That
Oh, yeah.
was impressive.
Oh, yeah. My favorite of all time.
All right, next up, Peyton. It's all you.
All right. We were just talking about these two teams. If you're an Astros fan and a Phillies fan, look away. If you're a Yankees fan and Braves fan, look right here. This home run by Jorge Soler, I don't think this ball has touched the earth to this day. I mean, like, that ball was absolutely smoked. And it was a 3-run homer in the World Series. They were already up 3-2 at that point. That kind of like set the tone for that game and kind of like put the nail in the coffin on that series. This ball is absolutely smoked.
Great moment.
I like it.
I like
I can't
it, I like
confirm
it.
the city of Atlanta did go crazy after
Yeah,
that home
I
run.
can confirm that too.
I agreed, just as much. Yeah, it was a great moment. Great time to be in the city of Atlanta. And great time to be a Astros hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the
Jorge
one
Soler
time. This was the one time I was rooting for the Astros. That's as much as I hate to say it.
Should never
Yeah,
root for the
crazy.
Astros.
Like
That's
the-
step one.
The
Never.
thing that's crazy about this, I believe they got him at the trade deadline when Acuna tore his ACL, completely revamped their whole outfield.
Great trade deadline. Him,
Yeah.
Jock Peterson.
I think
Yep.
did they have Michael Harris at the trade deadline?
No, Harris was a rookie. They got Duvall, I
Yeah,
believe, at
that's
the
who
trade
it was.
deadline
Yeah.
as well.
And like completely revamped their outfield after their best player went down and won the World Series. This World Series is very good.
It's funny how the Braves haven't won a World Series since he came back. Like the year they won it, it was when their best
Was
player
when
was,
their best player was
down,
down.
and now since he came back, they haven't been able to get past the Phillies, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, well, they'll make it past them this year.
All right, next up, we got Fernando.
Well,
All right, time to look at
Why-
a Phillies moment. Let's see.
you're right, Jeremy.
2008.
For me, it was so easy as a Phillies fan to choose this moment. It's got to be Bryce Harper's home run. I mean, you're a Phillies fan. How could you not choose
I'll
this
give you that.
moment?
I'll give you that one.
It was Game 5. You're one game away from going to the World Series. Bryce Harper on the mound. There's a Realmuto on base. He needs to show his moment that he is worth that $300 million contract, and he lives up to that moment. So for me, this was so, and like, who remembers the famous phrase, Bedlam at the Park? So for me, this was like the craziest moment. I remember like watching this with my friends. I remember crying because I couldn't believe it. So for me as a Phillies fan, this was an amazing moment to watch.
I might have gone Bryson Stott home run there.
I like it. I like it.
I was going to do a
Legendary.
Bryce Harper highlight myself, but it was kind of just a random game. I don't know. I think it was a year after he signed that huge contract, and I don't know if you saw the video. The fan was like $330 million, 0 for 3. Bases loaded. He steps up and hits the game-winning grand
Yeah.
slam. I was about to pick that one, but it was kind of just just a game.
a random moment.
Just a game.
Also, let's not forget, he did it against one of the best reliever pitchers in baseball, Suarez. So that was mighty impressive, in my honest opinion. Look at the people's reaction. I mean, as a Phillies fan, how could you not choose this moment?
It's a good moment. It's a good moment.
I was thinking we were going to get maybe a Roy Holiday moment there.
All right.
Jacob, what
All
you
right,
got for
let's
us?
go. All right, I will let you know in advance, I am a New Yorker, so unfortunately I am a Jets fan, I am a Knicks fan,
Amen.
but lucky for me, I'm also a Yankees fan. So, growing up, it was my dad and my uncle. My dad, he was a Yankees fan. My uncle was a Mets fan. I think one of my early birthdays, we'll say my 4th birthday, my uncle comes in with the Mets jersey. He gives it to me. My dad takes it right away, and he throws it right in the trash. From that moment, I decided I will be a Yankees fan, and thank
Best
the
decision
Lord. I
you've
mean,
ever
look at
made.
this kid. All right, he doesn't look that happy in that, but he is a happy kid. But when you really look at it, it's just like the New York Yankees are probably the greatest franchise of all sports. The New York Mets, not so much. So I'm just grateful that out of the 3 sports I picked, at least I have one that I could look at and say, all right, I did well.
It's a pleasure to be a Yankees fan with you, sir.
Absolutely.
Oh my God! So I'm in a table with Yankees fans, and I'm the only
Oh,
Phillies
yeah.
fan. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
brutal for me now.
It's a great table. I'm a big fan of this
Yeah.
one.
Not me.
Have
All the
Like
Yankees
this.
love.
My grandfather would be disappointed in me.
That's what you get for being a Red Sox fan. Disappointment.
That's rough. All right, moving on away from baseball, we got a soccer moment. USA beat Mexico in the CONCACAF Nations League final. How electric is this? I know you had a lot of opinions on this. Let's hear it.
Well, first I'm going to say I'm a Mexican, so I was rooting for Mexico in this game. But I have to say I will congratulate the United States. A win's a win for them, and congrats on winning this cup for 3 times in a row. But you know what? It's time to give a reality check to the audience here. Both teams suck. Both teams suck. Like, they're not good. I'm sorry to say this, but the United States and Mexico are not good. The United States won this game because Mexico is just horrible. The tactics of Mexico were awful. Like, they were playing scared. They weren't willing to go win that game. And the United States, that's something that I have to give them credit for. They went out and took advantage of Mexico's mistakes. And for Mexico, like, it's so incredible how downhill this country has gone in soccer. We used to dominate the United States. Now we get owned by the United States. Like, how do we go from there to that? Like, explain to me. So, like,
Success.
As much as I like would want to congratulate the United States, I can't because it's so frustrating to see how much Mexico's downfall has been.
Yeah, I mean,
Mark.
It's understandable.
yeah, I have no clue what to
I'll
say.
respect the rant.
Although, all I know is that we won. That's all I know. Just be,
Adam scored, Reyna scored. United States won.
But look, this is where the game changed. Like, look at that goal. Like, please look at that goal.
I mean, that looks like
Yeah, that's
beauty right
crazy.
there. You can't call the United States bad after that goal.
You can't even
No,
do that on
You can't call
FIFA.
Tyler Adams bad after he scores that.
No, but if you watch most of the game was boring. Both teams are trying to like play passive. They're not trying to go for the goal. They're just hoping for a team to make the mistake and then capitalize on it. So like, in Mexico, like when the United States had that opportunity, took advantage of it, and that was the difference at the end of the night.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just a beautiful shot.
That's
Plain
one
and
of the most
simple.
ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. That's crazy.
It's gorgeous. Another win for the country.
yep.
But like, it's sad to see that the United States are now the kings of CONCACAF. It's like it's so
Welcome to it.
sad for me to say it as a
Welcome to
Mexico
it.
fan. But also like,
Is that the end of your rant? Rant over? Rant over?
yeah, I'm done.
So now we get to watch the United States.
I don't want to watch this anymore.
We can continue to watch this. They're going to score in a
It's
second
painful in my
again.
eyes.
Might be the second goal here.
Yeah, you're
be-
not
it'll be
going
in
to
a
see
while.
Mexico
Yellow
do
card.
anything.
Do better.
You're not going to see Mexico do anything. In fact, this is where the goal comes in. I think.
I think we're a little bit down the road, a little bit ahead of the goal. It comes in the 63rd minute, but we don't have a clock.
But like, how many
Okay.
Mexico chances have you seen in these highlights? Please.
One right there.
Exactly.
There it is.
Other than
That's
that
it.
one,
That's
what have
the
you
one.
seen?
That's the
And that was a
single-
horrible shot.
That's a single.
Yeah.
That's a single one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Mexico played with like with no hunger. They played with no
2 shots on
win
goal.
mentality. Like, it's so sad.
2
how
shots
my
on goal
country
for
is-
Mexico compared to 6 for the United States. 9 shots total for Mexico compared to 11 shots in total for the United States. Capitalize on your opportunities. That's what it comes down
And
to
the
in the
most-
majority of sports, especially in soccer.
Most important stat in all of sports: the scoreboard.
The scoreboard.
2-0.
Scoreboard.
2-0. Learned that from
2-0.
Ted Lasso.
In fact,
Ted Lasso.
but I'll say this: like the United States as a program, soccer program, has improved a good amount.
absolutely.
So I'll give you that because, like, at first,
what a
Mexico were dominating that North America by sending a lot of players to Europe.
Right.
But now we're seeing that with the United States. So like that's been a huge advantage with with this rivalry. So,
Absolutely.
and I don't see Mexico changing that soon. And I think the United States will get better from here. And like I said before, Mexico has to change. It has to happen at some point.
World Cup loading. World Cup loading for the United States.
Have fun. You're not doing it. You're not doing
maybe
it.
get out of the group.
We
stage.
won France.
You're
We
not
won
doing
Mbappe.
it. Are you?
We won
We won
Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Yeah, France was
Call it
impressive
out.
in that
We
World
won
Cup, so
Mbappe.
I wouldn't
Yep.
be surprised they win it again. I mean, Euros and Copa America are coming up, so you better check that out.
Absolutely. You know what else we should check out? Now your throw. You got this. I threw it up. Do the lob.
All right, here we go.
Take it down.
Next show coming up, we got.
All right,
Boom.
question.
Oh, question.
here we go.
NFL, what do you guys think about the new kickoff rule?
Oh, I'm not a fan.
I
Are
like
we talking
it.
about
Not
both
a
of the
fan.
rules? Both rule changes? There's been two.
I remember the
so
tackle
there's
one,
the hip drop tackle rule,
which is
I don't like
ridiculous.
that.
Which
I
is
don't like
ridiculous.
a terrible rule, and
The
the
kickoff.
kickoff rule. I get where they're coming from.
I like the kickoff.
but at the
rule.
same time,
me too.
It creates, like I said, they want to like promote more kickoff returns, which I get, and promote less people
And
running
more
into each
scoring.
other.
Yeah.
But I feel like the gaps that get created from a normal kickoff return aren't gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like running through a gap in an offensive line compared to running into
Yeah, I
the
was
open
just about
space
to
that
say
you
that.
see.
I wonder if I'll see like a team have a couple offensive linemen on kickoff.
Right, yeah,
They're
you
like
might as
5
well.
yards
Yeah.
apart. Now,
Right.
granted, it's not a easy block to make,
Right.
But like have some big boys up there, either in the middle or the outside, or stack one side.
Right.
You might have more kickoff returns.
Tight ends, maybe bigger wide receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me,
Get
the
like
rule.
DK Metcalf out
George
there.
Pickens.
For me, the rule
Yeah.
that's like is ridiculous is the tackle one. That is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, what do you expect
No, you
defenders
can't-
to do
yeah.
now?
Yeah, I mean,
like just like
tuck 'em in,
tuck them in, and
grab
just
the
like put them
pillow.
to sleep or something.
Yeah,
like, what do you
that's
want
what
them
it
to
comes
do
down
now?
to.
Like,
Yeah,
I understand they're trying to protect players. I get that. I really do. But what are, like you're, as a defender, like what are you supposed to do now?
Right. Day to day, we move closer and closer to flag football.
Yeah.
We'll get there one day.
I saw
Eventually.
a tweet where they're gonna they ban the hip drop, but they're not gonna call it as much.
Yeah.
But
very- yeah.
I can just imagine it's gonna be like a playoff game or something. Routine tackle,
Yeah.
15-yard
15-yard
penalty,
Yeah.
Change the course of the game.
change the whole game.
Exactly.
It's just way too inconsistent.
Yeah,
Like
and
you can't ban a whole tackle. Like,
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
be it's gonna be a judgment call the entire
Yeah.
way through. So it's literally completely up to the referees if they want to call it a tackle or not. And I feel like it's gonna cause some problems. There's gonna be
It's
some
gonna be
bias here and
roughing
there.
the passer,
Yeah.
Right,
something
exactly.
like
You're gonna
that.
get roughing the passer type calls, and people aren't gonna like it. Same thing happened when they tried to do the, you can challenge the pass interference calls after the whole Saints Rams
There's the
debacle.
drama, yeah.
And I think it's gonna be something like that where maybe it gets phased out immediately after this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like being an NFL referee is so hard.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. It's,
Like
it's
I
a
can
terrible job.
I can't imagine the pressure they're under.
Oh, yeah. Make perfect
Yeah.
calls every single game or get yelled at by every person in
Or
the
lose
country.
your
Like
job.
for referees, like it might seem easy, but when you're like in that moment, it's so hard because like you have to be perfect pretty much,
Right.
or else everyone's gonna like trash you or make
Yeah.
fun of you.
You gotta be perfect at the right times, and the hardest calls always seem to come at the
Wrong
late stages
times.
of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes left in the game, big call to change the game. Like that's what it comes down to.
Like who can forget the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl holding call
Yep.
that was kind of controversial.
Yeah, the Logan Wilson holding call.
Yeah.
Like there's so
Logan
many
Wilson
penalties that we can talk to about,
Yeah.
but let's not get into
Eventually,
that.
it all get lost. It all gets
Yep.
lost in the flurry. But
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Tomorrow we got a baseball show. We got these 4 amazing people coming on. So make sure you're there at 5:50. Be sure to tune in. And
Absolutely.
any
Yeah, you
last
gotta tune
any
in.
last opinions, guys?
nah, baseball's back.
Yep.
Baseball's
Very
back.
happy.
And
Good
good luck to the Sweet 16 teams.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hope your bracket's still alive.
Yeah,
Mine's
same here.
not.
Mine is still. Hopefully, my 7 of my 8 elite teams make it.
Mine's dead. Mine's gone. It's
Yeah,
gone.
Impossible.
Please lose Purdue.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.